Bronny, my son, I only have 1 or 2 years left. My final wish is to play with you by my side in the league.
I'm doing my best, Papa. I'm transferring schools now so I can get more touches.
There's no time. I need you now.
But I'm not good enough, Papa.
You don't have to be. You're my son. Now carry the James name proud. Avenge me, Bronny. Avenge me.
Papa? Papa? Doctor, do something!
There's nothing wrong with him. He's just being dramatic like always. Poke him in the balls, he'll wake up.
Doc, I told you to stop doing that.
JJ Redick and LeBron James recently sat down on their podcast to discuss LeBron James' son, Bronny James, and his maturity in accepting what he feels is going to be his role in the NBA. Bronny James has figured out that he's not some type of generational talent. He's not a first pick in the NBA draft, and he may not even be a first round pick. Although LeBron is going to try and force some NBA team to draft Bronny James in the first round, I don't see it happening, and most even of his loyal fans, the Bronniacs, don't even see it happening. Well, anyway, LeBron James and JJ Redick sat down to discuss this, and they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
He had some quotes where he talked about certain players in the NBA that he felt he could play like.
Yeah.
And I thought it was neat. Because not every 19-year-old kid has that perspective.
See, this is where it becomes disingenuous. I followed JJ Redick's career. I remember when he came out of Duke, it's no way that JJ Redick thought that he was this guy that was going to be a franchise player and an all-star player and making multiple all-star teams. He was a good small guard who could shoot. Those people do spend a long time in the NBA as far as, spot-up shooters. That can be said by Steve Kerr, John Paxson, Dale Ellis, Dale Curry. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. But there's no way you can make me believe that JJ Redick thought that he was some kind of generational superstar when he came into the NBA. And he knows this is bullshit, and this is all scripted. It's just all scripted.
So this, we think we're going to be all-star, all-NBA
no, you
from
didn't.
day one, and that's not necessarily how it works for everybody. Do you talk to him about that? Do you talk to him about who he can be in the NBA?
No.
Or is he figuring this out on his own?
Yeah, I think he's figuring it out. I wanted him to kind of figure.
Did you hear this lie? Did you talk to Bronny James about what he could be in the NBA? And LeBron James is trying this. Oh, no. I never talked to Bronny James about what he could be in the NBA. I never said anything to Bronny James about what he could be. But look at this tweet that LeBron James put out just last year in March. Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Shit lightweight. Hilarious. Now look at that. Now, but this is the man who's sitting up here now telling you on the podcast, oh, I never discussed anything about the NBA with Bronny. I've just been a good father and a good husband, and I've just supported all of his dreams and whatever he wants to do, whether it be an accountant or a trash man. I'm just there to support him and give him all the knowledge and tutelage as a father I can. That's everything that comes out of LeBron James' mouth is scripted and is bullshit. Just don't believe it. And look at even these Bronniacs. Look at the comment behind that. LeBronitis. Bron throwing shots at NBA players. He's right though. Bronny is goated. This is the kind of shit you see. And if I showed you Bronny James' stats, you would know that he's definitely not an NBA player. Bronny James averaged 4.8 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and had 36.6% field goal percentage from the field. This is a guy who declared himself for an NBA draft after only his freshman year. These are the stats he had. And we're literally talking about him being drafted anywhere in the draft. This, my friends, is what they call a damn shame. It's a damn shame. But anyway, let's move on.
Out on his own, where he see himself fit in the NBA, or where he see what his comp looks like to see him mention guys like Derek White, Drew Holiday,
Good players.
A few other guys, Marcus Smart,
right,
and early Davion Mitchell. These are guys who come in and And for a team that's trying to win championships, a team that wants to win every.
Did you listen to that bullshit he just said? You never wanted those type of players on your team. You've always went and got a super team. You've always stacked your team like you were running some kind of AAU for the NBA. You always wanted the best players, and you really didn't have a lot of respect nor love for all of these quote-unquote role players. That's why you always traded them away so you could build these super teams, and that's why, my friend, you are not the GOAT. That's why you've only got 3 championships and one NBA PlayStation championship in the 2020 season. This is the reason why. You're sitting up here saying that Bronny James, he respects and loves all Derek White, Marcus Smart, Davion Mitchell. These are the type of players that Bronny wants to be like. But these are the kind of players I'm sure you didn't even talk about in your house as something to be respected. But move on, LeBron.
Tonight, these are the players that you have to have on your team because it doesn't always show up in the box scores, but it always shows up in the winning plays. And for Bronny to have that perspective on.
I wish you had that perspective when you had those type of players on your team. I wish you did, because you're trying to build another super team on your way out of LA.
Where he stands today, that's great, and I think that's great for any team to be able to have a 19-year-old kid, like you said. I know that wasn't my goal. My goal was like, listen, I'm trying to make it to the All-Star game in year 1. I want to be, All-Star. I want to be MVP.
Yeah, you were a generational talent. You were 6'8", 230, 240 pounds coming out of high school. You were a high school phenom. That was expected of you. The NBA welcomed you. You were going to be the next Michael Jordan, or that wave of players that came in that were going to be the face of the NBA. Of course you wanted all of those things, because all of those things were going to be promised or just damn near given to you. But Bronny James is in a whole nother boat. Bronny James is in a whole nother. You can't even bring Bronny James up. Listen, this is what Bronny James said about himself. NBA Draft Combine notes. Bronny James sees himself as a role player. LeBron James' son sees himself as a great coach's player. Well, you'll do better than your dad, because I don't think no coach cares for your dad, because he's gotten every coach fired or tried to, because if they don't want to run the LeBron James offense, the LeBron James system, he doesn't want to coach there. And that's been proven every place he's went. That's probably why he only has 3 championships versus the 7 or 8 that he promised everybody in Miami before he scooted out of there to go try to team up with more All-Stars. Excuse me. Okay, let me get back to what I was saying. He's a great coach's player. The guard could be selected in the 2nd round of next month's draft. Not if LeBron James has anything to do with it. He's going to be drafted much higher than that if LeBron can strong arm some NBA team or lie to him and tell him he's going to come there, or either just make the Lakers do it.
I want to be this, all of these things, and a lot of us have those aspirations, but for
a lot of us don't.
Have that mindset,
a lot of us didn't,
listen.
LeBron. A lot of us, like Bronny James, didn't have those aspirations. A lot of us just wanted to be in the NBA. A lot of people just wanted to make a team, just any way they could. They played Avery Johnson and Isaiah Thomas, 2-way contracts, 10 different teams, and working their butts off. That's where that's where Bronny James should be. That's where Bron Jr. should be. I don't know why we call him a grown-ass man Bronny, but that's where Bron Jr. should be right now. He should be working his way, but as I understand it, Rich Paul says that Bronny James won't be signing a 2-way contract. So that lets you know that they're trying to strong-arm Bronny James into the NBA and make some team draft this boy.
At this point in time in my life and in my game, I know where I stand, but I know how I affect the game, and he's just a winning player, and I just love his mindset. It's just some of his answers and to a lot of the questions that was given to him was like, I was in awe of, because we've never actually, even talked about it, but he's living in it. He's living in the moment.
If you want us to believe it, you and Bronny James have never went over question. You've never talked to him about what he should say, how he should act, what's going on. This man right here is so full of shit. He stinks.
He's definitely carving out his own lane. He's definitely not his dad, and I'm not him. I wouldn't be able to handle.
He's definitely not you. That's one thing you said. That's the most truest statement you've probably said on this whole podcast. He's not you, and you're not him, because you can't handle being a role player. You couldn't handle not bringing the ball down. And Bronny can't handle running an offense. So, yeah.
The scrutiny and all the things that he got going on, you know, at his age, at his level, and with social media. Like, I didn't have social media to deal with.
Yeah, social media that his dad has drummed up. You're the one who put the tweets out about him. If you would have let Bronny James go to college, get a good college coach, team up with that college coach and develop some real skill, develop some real tenacity and grit, and learn the game of basketball and stay 3 or 4 years, because he didn't have to come out after his first year. His dad and his mom are rich. He's not a hardship case. Let that boy stay and develop and become a solid college player, and then be looked at as a first-round draft pick, possibly 3 to 4 years down the road where he's developed. That would have been a better situation for Bronny, but you can't see that for your selfishness, you and Rich Paul, because you want to play with you want to play with Bronny, and you want to play with him so bad that you won't let him develop. You won't let him become an NBA player. You won't let him become who he can become. You want him to do it on your fast-paced, fast-track Bron James schedule, and that, my friend, is going to kill Bronny James's, Bron Jr. James' career.
When I came in at 18, I did have a lot of scrutiny. I did have a lot of things that was put on my shoulders, but I didn't have, you know, every single day.
And what you didn't have is an overbearing father. You might have needed a father in your life, maybe not quite as overbearing as you're acting with Bronny, but you needed one in your life. Because had you had one in your life, you probably would have done a lot better in the NBA as far as building championship and building a championship pedigree, instead of running from team to team like some jilted woman every time somebody pissed you off.
On the clock, news coverage, sports shows, things are talking about this particular person every single day. Or you go online or on social media and X and Instagram, and everyone can comment every single day about whatever they want to say, whatever. I didn't have to deal with that, and to see him handle it, you know, with such class and so just like self-awareness and just.
And look at JJ. These players kiss LeBron's ass so much it's ridiculous. They just kiss this man's ass so much, and he thinks he's just getting over on everybody because he's telling this bullshit story. And look at JJ Redick and like, yeah, LeBron, I believe you and Bronny. You guys are just wonderful. And Bronny and LeBron, thank you for putting me on this podcast and keeping me relevant, because JJ Redick's views on on ESPN and some of these other things, damn near should get his ass fired, but that's a whole nother story. Another video for another day.
Man, and super proud of him. You know, me and Savannah talk about it all the time, how proud of we are of our kids, and you know, he's the oldest. You know, we always told him from day one, listen, you have to set an example for your brother and your little sister, and he continues to do that.
Yep, good kid. I can't front on Bronny. Bronny's a good kid. He's got a lot put on his shoulders, and there's not a lot put on his shoulders by the world, because there have been other stars' children who played basketball. Michael Jordan's kids played basketball. Other stars' kids have played basketball. But there was no pressure put on them like that. LeBron James, Rich Paul, and all of these people put the pressure on Bronny James because LeBron wants to play with his son. And he said that from the time Bronny could damn near walk. I'm not going to say that long ago, but it's been a while that at least the last 10 or 12 years, he's been saying he wants to play with his son, and come hell or high water, he wants to do it, and he's really stunted Bronny James' growth, and I just feel sorry for Bronny. Every time I look at Bronny's face, I'm thinking, you know, maybe you ought to become your own man. I know it's hard, but maybe you ought to try it. But anyway, what do you guys think of it? Do you think that LeBron James' son, Bronny James, deserves to be picked in the first round? And do you think that LeBron James' son is handling this with maturity, or do you think he's handling it the way he has to handle it, because he's just he's not that generational talent. He's not a first round draft pick. He's really not a draft pick at all had it not been for LeBron James. But anyway, you guys let me know how you feel. Thanks. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm out.